Hi, my name's Warmaster 101.
Really?
And it's Christmas today, or whatever holiday that you celebrate. But we're not playing a Christmas game, we're playing something called HyperDot.
Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Pagan, Solstice, New Year time.
Yule. Everybody likes the Yule.
I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be listing off a bunch of holiday facts. Cause why the fuck not? First off, basically a lot of all these holidays occur during the winter solstice. Cause it's kind of like that luminal time of the year where it's just like you feel like you need to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
And also significance with the calendar and everything. So you see stuff like Christmas get moved from what was most likely happening during summer, Jesus being born in summer sometime, get moved to the 25th. You have Hanukkah, which is the 8 days. You have Kwanzaa, Yule, Saturnalia, etc., etc. So I'll be listing off random facts about those. First off is Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a 7 day celebration that, or is it 5 days? No, it's five. Yeah, it's 5 days. It's a 5 day celebration that begins on December 26th and lasts till January 1st.
Hmm.
Next up is Hanukkah or Chanukah, depending on how you spell it. Hanukkah is a Jewish festival that lasts 8 days. Uh, so it basically comes back from the 2nd century BC, I believe, where it was like there was a group of Jews called the Maccabees who revolted against the Greeks. Um, and so they won, but they were cut off from like the rest of their troops and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they were inside the second temple. And they only had enough fuel to keep them alive and warm for one night, but it lasts 8, which was long enough to get in touch with the rest of their tribe.
Good for them.
So that's how you get the 8. That's how you get the 8 crazy nights.
We don't talk about 8 crazy nights.
That movie's bad. Yeah.
It's... Is Adam Sandler actually Jewish? Or did he just make a really,
Yeah.
really... Oh, he is
Yeah.
actually
He's
Jewish?
Jewish. He's Jewish. But he made a very bad film.
Oh my
Yes.
god. How can you be Jewish and be like, you know what, this is the film I want to make for my people?
Like you're fucking terrible at making a film about Hanukkah when Rugrats does a better
Yep,
goddamn job.
yep.
Not just like slightly, like infinitely better.
Oh yeah, I know the Hanukkah specials for, I used to watch those all the time when Rugrats was on. Remember when
Yeah, because
Rugrats
there
was a
was
cultural
Rugrats.
phenomenon?
Yeah, and then like the Rugrats teen came out and like botched and like basically it was basically like the SS Rugrats was was sailing, and then the new captain, which I don't even remember what the fucking name of them was when they were teens,
It,
but basically he took
they,
over and just shot a cannon straight through the bottom of the boat.
it was called All
All
Grown
grown
Up.
up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Rugrats all grown up, which is terrible.
And then
Rugrats did all right. Like they did a Kwanzaa episode. They did a couple Hanukkah episodes. Of course, they did Christmas as well.
they did Halloween episodes, obviously.
Mhm. Easter,
Oh my
which
god.
is just
I still remember the Halloween episode where like Stu's like, "Aw, the kids went the kids went trick or treating without us. It's okay, Stu. We'll still go trick or treating. And it's like, your kids literally went out without you. Why are you upset about
And
them?
it's like they're not like 10.
Yeah,
They're babies. Like the oldest person in the room was like Angelica and like
Susie. Susie Carmichael.
Susie. They're like 6. Like
Yeah, I
I
would
don't
not.
even trust them to be alone. Sorry, we're off
No,
topic.
it's okay. When has Random Fact Thursday ever been on topic about anything?
True. But yeah, like Stu, they're fucking 6 and under. Like, no, you don't just let them out. That's how they die to elemental exposure or getting hit by a fucking car.
Or having dogs maul them? I guess that would be elemental exposure as well.
This isn't warrior cats.
Damn.
There are 2 natural reactions kids have to warrior cats. And that is, I must let my cats outside frequently so they can bond with their tribe and explore their destiny. And the other is, I must never let my cat outside, otherwise they will be brutally murdered.
You see, I wasn't a Warrior Cats kid.
Neither was I.
I don't even
I
know
was
what.
Magic Treehouse.
I think I was Magic Treehouse as well.
Those
Take a look
books were fun.
inside a book. Nope, that's the wrong. Is Magic Treehouse still going
Just
on?
reading. I'm not sure. Maybe. I'll Google it real fast. Is Magic Treehouse still going on? Is Magic Treehouse? Magic Treehouse? There's a fucking anime film called The Magic Treehouse.
Oh my god.
Huh. Anyway.
Oh. Because I remember, like, the last Magic.
Okay, so they're still going.
Oh shit,
They're
really?
still going. And apparently the overarching plot of it is Jack and Annie, and occasionally there's like another friend or like a cousin or whatever, for like a one-off,
Uh huh.
um, are sent by Morgan Le Fay through books to other times and places
Yep.
throughout history or fantasy. And they usually learn something or explore something. And then it switches like halfway through, and they are joined by Kathleen and Teddy, who are two of Merlin's apprentices.
Yeah, I remember them. Kathleen's a Silky.
Hmm.
Wait, Silkies are the people that can transform into seals, right?
Selkies, yeah. And then they switch back to Morgan Le Fay, sending them starting in 2014.
Hmm. Yeah, because I remember, like, the first story arc is them, like, figuring out who owns the treehouse, and then Morgan sends them off as, like, magic librarians trying to save books from different time periods.
Yeah,
Uh,
so the first 34 is the original run. Wait, no, that's not the original run. Anyway, what was I saying? So there's 34 books where they're sent by Morgan Le Fay. There is 27 longer books where they are sent by Merlin, and there's one where they're sent by Teddy.
Huh. Did they ever
And
meet?
send them to D-Day. What the fuck, Teddy?
I oh shit! I forgot about that.
You got one chance to send them anywhere, and you send them to fucking D-Day.
Oh
They're
fuck!
children, Teddy.
Did they ever meet Arthur? Because Morgan Le Fay and Merlin, and you know,
I don't
it
know.
would make sense.
Okay, so he has to send them to D-Day to rescue Kathleen because Kathleen was getting something from D-Day.
Why
They got
is
trapped.
Kathleen at D-Day? Why is a Silky
I don't know.
at
It's
D-Day?
it's a beach, and they're like seals. I don't I don't know.
I don't. Are seals native to France?
Seals are native to everywhere that has a coastline,
Oh
pretty
my
much.
god.
There's like 100 species of seals. How many species of seals are there? There are 33 species of pinnipeds included that include seals, walruses, and sea lions.
Hmm.
There are only there is only one species of walrus.
Oh no.
The rest are seals and seals. Anyway, what was I saying? Back to holidays.
Yeah.
Saturnalia was the Roman equivalent of the earlier Greek holiday Corona.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
It's spelled K. It's spelled with a K instead of a C.
Oh
So,
geez. Okay, so we're safe.
um, and it was the Romans saw it as the restoration of the ancient golden age, when the world was ruled by the sun god Saturn.
Okay.
Coronia is held in the honor of Kronos, and it's meant to celebrate like the changing of the years over.
Okay. And on the celebration of Cronus, you eat your children.
Maybe.
Because, Kronos was the god of gods before the first Olympians were born, and the Olympians were his kids. But then, and Gaia, I think, the goddess of the earth, was like, "Hey, be careful on your children because one of them is going to overtake you one day." And then he's just like, "Om
So he
nom
just
nom
said,
babies."
"Fuck you."
Yeah, he fucking eats them. And the only way that Zeus got away from getting eaten was because uh
Ate
his
a
mother
fucking
was,
rock. Said, yeah.
yeah. Also
Anyway,
fun. Oh,
keep talking.
go ahead. Another fun fact. Gaia wasn't super happy about Cronus being killed by the Greek gods, so she sent a giant monster named Typhoon, I don't know, either or, to go kick their asses, and just basically all the Greek gods sort of fucked off, and that's sort of how what's it called? That's sort of how uh, the Greeks connected the Grecian gods to other gods, because uh, each of the different Greek gods took the form of like an ibis, and so on and so forth, like from the Egyptian gods, and it's basically implied that the Greek gods went and hid in Egypt for a while Typhon had his temper tantrum in Greece. I'm really
Hmm.
not good at explaining Greek mythology, I'm sorry.
Kagotio is a log celebrated on Christmas, where they give him a smiley face, Santa hat, and a blanket, and then kids beat him until he defecates presents.
Oh, wait, what? Excuse me? Repeat the name of this holiday?
It's Tito de Nadal is it's celebrated in Catalonia,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a log that has a smiling face, and then people wrap blankets around him and like dress him up, and then on Celebration Day, kids beat the shit out of him, and literally, and so he shits the presents.
What the fuck? That's fucking weird.
The story goes that in the days preceding Christmas, children must take good care of the log, keeping it warm and feeding it, so that it will defecate presents on Christmas Eve.
What the fuck? You know what? We should do that in the States, except with, instead of a log, it's just we go to Jeff Bezos' estate and we beat the shit out of him.
I am once again asking three ghosts to haunt Jeff Bezos and giving away all his wealth.
Please. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh god. Damn it.
This is the poop log. It's the poop log, Nick.
It's the Great Pope Log, Charlie Brown.
Poop log.
Space Ghost. Fuck. Light
There are
comes.
several basic principles that go to represent Kwanzaa. So set your asses down, have some knowledge roughed upon you. There's a mojo, which means unity, and Kajukalia means self-determination. I'm butchering this. Collective work and responsibility is Ujima, and cooperative economics is Ujama. Purpose is Nyari, creativity is Kumba, and faith is Iami. Kwanzaa is an African-inspired but American-invented holiday. And the traditional things associated with Kwanzaa are crops like corn, a Kwanzaa mat called a mikika. There is the candle holder called the kanara, which not to be confused with the menorah, which is the Jewish candle holder for Hanukkah. The kanara holds just 5 candles. Uh, no, wait, I'm wrong. The kanara holds 7 candles. Where there is 3 red candles, 3 green candles, and 1 black candle in the center.
Hmm. I've realized that there's a theme of candles when it comes to,
Light in the dark.
yeah.
Light in the darkness. Yule or Yuletide is a pagan holiday that Nick knows more about, so he will now talk about
I do not. I do not.
it. Why do you lie to me?
Well, I never said I knew anything about Yule.
You lied. It's a festival historically observed by Germanic peoples and some Norse regions. Scholars have connected the original celebration of Yule to the Wild Hunt, uh, where the god Odin would go out and uh, basically, Wild Hunt is a Nordic tradition that typically involves soul raving chase led by mythological figures, escorted by a ghostly or supernatural group of hunters chasing in wild pursuit. The leader of the hunt is often a named figure, usually Odin or an associate of Odin. But maybe variously historical or legendary figures such as Theodoric the Great or the Danish king. Voldemort Atterdag. Hunters are generally the souls of the dead, ghostly dogs, sometimes fairies, valkyries, or even elves.
Oh Jesus. Oh God.
Yeah.
Happy Yule, everyone. If you're not careful, Odin will come and steal your soul.
I'm trying to figure out like what did he just run away? What?
That's it.
I'm googling that real fast. Huh?
There's currently
Don't
a
get it.
cat making biscuits on my legs.
Making biscuits. Biscuits.
Oh, and she's purring. He's purring so
I
loudly.
fucking I fucking saw a thing where it was like one of the highest rated fan fiction for She-Ra is an alternate universe where Catra's a baker
Aww.
because of the biscuits thing.
Because the horde just sort of falls apart if they don't have a biscuit maker.
Biscuit.
That's how She-Ra should have ended. They should have.
What the fuck is the Yule Game? Continue what we're saying.
That's how She-Ra should have ended. It should have ended with Horde Prime actually having a debilitating weakness against biscuits, and it's just like, Catra, you need biscuits, and they just kill Horde Prime that way. Oh shit! I guess She-Ra
The Yule
spoilers.
Goat. The Yule Goat is a Scandinavian Northern European Yule and Christmas symbol and tradition. Its origin may be Germanic pagan and has existed for many variations throughout Scandinavian history. Most modern interpretations of the Yule Goat are made of straw. The Yule Goat's origins date back to several thousand years. There are some connections to the Norse god Thor because he rode in a chariot drawn by goats.
Oh yeah. I only distinctly remember that because one time when him and Loki were going to talk to a giant, they ran into a family, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have any food to give you," and Thor's just like, "Don't worry," and he fucking kills his goat, and he's like, "Hey,
And
everything's chill. Just don't eat. Just keep the bones, and we'll be fine." But one of the kids is like, "Huh, tasty, tasty marrow," and sucks the marrow out of one of the bones. And when the goat comes back to life, it has a limp because one of the legs is fucked up.
what's the purpose of this myth? No one knows.
I don't know either.
So there is one. So most modern modern interpretations of the Yule goat are usually made of straw or wood. And they're usually decorations like to decorate the house. However, there is one called the Glave goat, or
Damn it.
where large, massive versions are erected in towns and cities around Christmas time. They're just these giant fucking straw goats. And they started mostly in like the 1960s, and they're amazing.
Huh.
Um, like here's a brief history of the Galave goat. The Galave goat is erected every year on the first day of Advent, which, according to the Western Christian calendar, is in like late November,
Yep.
depending on the calendar year. In 1966, an advertising group decided named Sting Glavin came up with the idea of making a giant version of the traditional Swedish Yule goat and placing it in town square to draw tourists. I need a drink.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Lubricate.
The design of the first goat was signed to the then chief of Glav Fire Department. They constructed the goat. They erected the goat each year from 1966 to 1970, and from 1986 to 2002.
Hmm.
The first goat was financed by Harry Stoll, and on the 1st of December 1966, a 13-meter or 43-foot tall, 23-foot long, 3-ton straw goat was in town square. On New Year's Eve of that year, the goat caught fire and burned down.
Oh
The
no.
perpetrator was found and convicted of vandalism, and the goat was subsequently every year insured afterward. Apparently, it's an official tradition for them to put the goat up every year, but it's an unofficial tradition of people keep trying to destroy the goat
What the fuck? You leave that.
because the first year it was built, someone destroyed it.
Leave that fucking goat
So
alone. What has it
it's an
ever done to you?
unofficial.
What has that straw goat ever done to you fuckers? I don't know if Zero is still. If
I'm,
Discord has
I'm
fucked it.
still
Oh
here.
no,
I'm
you're
just
still
reading
here.
more.
Grab. Oh, I hate this. Zero, are
The
you.
display has become notable for being what? Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, sorry, you just cut out for a second. What are we talking about now?
Well, I was talking about the vandalism.
Oh.
It's routinely been tried to be set on fire multiple times. Um, it has been destroyed many times since the first goat was erected in 1966.
Uh huh.
And because the fire station is close to the location of the goat, most of the time the fire can be extinguished before the wooden skeleton is severely damaged. So therefore, the skeleton remains. But they always burn down the straw part.
Oh no.
So it's every year they have to put the straw back on the frame, and someone else tries to put it there.
This goat burns down every year and
So
there's nothing you
basically,
can do about it.
if the goat burned down before the 13th of December, which is the feast of Saint Lucia, the goat is rebuilt. As of 2005, 4 people have been caught and convicted for vandalizing the goat. 2001, the goat was burned down by a 51-year-old visitor from Cleveland, Ohio, who spent 18 days in jail and
Man,
had
fuck
to pay over
Cleveland.
$100,000 in damages. The court has since confiscated cigarette lighters from all patrons.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you'll burn down the Yule goat.
Burn down the Glave goat. On December on November 20th, 2014, the Glave Police Department installed webcams.
Okay.
Um, but it's now become a thing where people will hack into the webcams to disable them before attempting to set the unit on fire.
Jesus Christ.
There's a whole thing. During the weekend of the 3rd and 4th of December in 2005, a series of attacks on the public Yule goats across Sweden were carried out. The Glave goat was burned 3 separate times in this weekend.
Talk about weekend at Glave Goats.
And the Christmas season of 2006 marked the 40th anniversary of the Glave goat, and on Sunday, the 3rd of December, the city held a large celebration in honor of the goat. The Goat Committee fireproofed the goat with a fiber protector fireproof, a fireproofing substance that is used by airplanes. In earlier years, when the goat has been fireproofed, the new dew made from the liquid drop off the goat. To prevent this from happening, in 2006, the fireproof protector solvent base was applied to the goat. Despite their effort, however, they miscalculated and accidentally burned down the goat themselves by applying the anti-burning down thing to it.
Just burned. That's what.
The goat has been burned down 36 times. Here, I'll go down a brief timeline. 1966, burned down on December 31st. 1967, survived. 1968, a fence was added to prevent an attacker and survived. In 1969, the frame of the goat was replaced with metal, but then got burned down. In 1970, the goat was burned just 6 hours after being built. It was blamed on 2 drunk teenagers.
When in actuality, it was the governor.
And it was then rebuilt using lake reeds as opposed to straw. Um, in 1971, a guy drove his car into it. Uh,
Not burning down
in
exactly.
1970, in 1972, there was a minor earthquake that collapsed it. In 1973, a lady fucking stole it.
I thought you were about to say a lady fucked the goat.
No, a lady fucking. That would have been less impressive because this goat weighs 3 tons, Nick. A
Oh,
lady came over with a tractor, attached a fucking chain to it, and stole it from town square. Um, in 1974, there was a fire. In 1975, it collapsed under its own weight. In 1976, another person hit with a car. Um, in 1976, in 1977, it was on fire. In 1978, a group of people showed up from a neighboring town and kicked the shit out of it. Um, in 1979, it caught fire while it was being built. In 1980, there was a fire. In 1981, it survived. 1982, fire. 1983, people stole the legs and nothing else. In 1984, fire. In 1985, they made a 6 foot high metal fence with guarded by security soldiers from the infantry regiment. Uh, it was the largest goat to be built at 41 feet. Uh, it was featured in the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest straw sculpture, and it caught on fire by one of the security guards accidentally putting out a cigarette.
oops.
In 1986, fire. In 1987, fire.
Fire.
In 1988,
Fire.
In 1988, a new tradition started where people gamble on the fate of the goat. And it isn't just whether or not it survives. They have because that's too easy. Um, they take gambles of like, does it survive? Does it catch on fire? Is it stolen? Is it hit by a car? Like you place bets now on it.
What would you? Okay, so if you were betting
And
on
I'm
that,
not done yet. I'm gonna do
okay.
all these. One second. In 1990, it survived. In 1991, it caught on fire. In 1992, it caught on fire twice. In 1993, it survived. In 1994, survived. 1995, fire. 1996, survived. 1997, it was damaged by fireworks, but survived. In 1998, fire. 1999, it caught on fire while it was being built. In 2000, it caught on fire. In 2001, it caught on fire. In 2002, it survived. A 22-year-old from Stockholm tried to set the southern merchants go on fire, but failed. Uh, but it did result in damage to the surrounding trees. Uh, 2003, fire. 2004, fire. 2005, fire. It was burned down by a group of vandals dressed up as gingerbread men,
What the fuck?
who fired flaming arrows at it.
What the fuck?
Uh, in 2006, two goats started being built. One by the Southern Merchants and one by the Natural Science Club, which was a museum in town. Uh, in 2000, both survived that year. 2007, one goat was burned down, the other survived. Um, in 2008, a fire happened. 2009, fire. 2010, survived. In 2011, it collapsed under the weight of ice that accumulated on it. Uh, in 2012, fire. In 2013, fire. 2014, survived. 2015, fire. 2000. Uh, in 2016, fire. 2017, it survived. 2018, it survived. 2019, so in 2019, the goat survived, but someone brought in a mini Yule goat,
Mm-hmm.
set that on fire, shit at one of the big goats to try and catch it on fire.
What the fuck? And then in 2020, it just spontaneously combusted.
This is the first time the goat has survived more than 2 years ago. No, in 2020, the goat was inaugurated in the 29th of November. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the inauguration was digital. There has been no tradition to celebrate. Um, and it was destroyed, but not by fire. You want to guess how it was destroyed this year?
Oh, jeez. Somebody ran their car into it?
No, someone brought in a bunch of goats and had the goats eat it.
Oh, my God. This has been Random Fact
This thing
Thursday.
made of straw.
This has
They
been
brought in goats to eat the goat.
this has been Random Fact Thursday. We've been going for 40 minutes.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Guys, my banner fact.
everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy schmolidays.